Hi guys, this is Hannah from mindworthfightingfor.com, and today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my heart for a while to talk about, and these are the 3 causes of depression. And this is extremely important to know these 3 different causes so you can know where to start, when to get help. So the first cause, a lot of people know this, but it is situational. So maybe something in your life has happened, maybe something with relationships, employment, your career, maybe your health, something like that in your life has gone wrong. And I know for a lot of people, and especially me, this can hit me the hardest. And even, for example, this happened to me about a month or 2 ago. I was graduating college, and like 2 areas in my life got hit really hard. So it was romantic relationships, just kind of fell to the wayside, and my career. I was graduating, I didn't know what I was going to do, and it was just a lot of pressure for me. So what I did for that is I called the suicide hotline because I was just having a horrible week and it was just not going well. And I never called the suicide hotline before, but I called them. They were really nice. They kind of helped talk me through it, gave me some really good advice, just listened. So I highly recommend that. And then I also recommend talking to a psychologist and kind of working out all the stress that you're going through. Kind of just having someone to talk to can help a lot. All right, number 2, the second cause of depression is mental. So this is your thought process. And this is more of a long-term thing. And I've had this one too. In fact, I've had all 3, so I'm just gonna be honest about my life right now. But the second one is mental, and this is like how you see yourself and how you respond to the world around you. So for so many years, I didn't really value myself. I didn't really have good thoughts about myself, and my outlook was more negative towards the world. I didn't really have much hope. Just kind of, I think a lot of us are like this, we're all kind of hard on ourselves. Even though we're really good, we're just hard on ourselves, critical of ourselves, stuff like that. It's kind of a cultural thing, kind of ingrained into our culture. Like, we don't feel like we have a lot of hope for the future. We don't see the good in ourselves. So what I did for that, and this helped a lot, was also talking to a psychologist, just talking to someone, kind of telling her how I felt about myself, like what I was going through in my relationships, kind of what I grew up with and all that stuff. And she kind of helped put things into perspective. She gave me actual tips and techniques I could use to change my mind and my mindset. And she even taught me like some terms called like thinking in a downward spiral. So that's kind of what I used to do. Like, I used to get mad at something and it kind of used to just like spiral down. Like the thoughts would just build and build. She told me when that happens, then I need to kind of break it up and do a different activity, or kind of counteract those thoughts with more positive thoughts. So that helped a lot. It really helps to talk to someone and have them help you change your mindset. So number 2 is mindset. Number 3, now this one is the most important, that you get treated professionally. I mean, they're all really important that you see a professional, but this one, if you don't get this treated, you're gonna keep feeling bad. And the 3rd one is biological. Now, if you talk to anyone, everyone knows that depression is oftentimes also a chemical imbalance in your brain. And so they say to see a psychologist who can prescribe you medication. Yes, that is absolutely true, but there are 2 sides to this. So yes, getting medication for your brain. But there's also another side. It's extremely important that you see a medical doctor. Okay, why is this? I've been doing research for about 2 years. You can look on my website for more research, and also in my book coming out. It's going to be chock full of this, but there are multiple physical bodily conditions that can make your depression worse, or that just look like depression because it has the exact same symptoms. So what I had something called adrenal fatigue, which is a condition. It's temporary, but it makes you want to sleep all day. So like 14, 15, 16 hours a day. And then when you wake up, you don't have any energy. So sometimes that can be paired with the mental thing that's going on, or maybe you have something in your life going on and you have adrenal fatigue, and it can just make your depression way worse because all you want to do is just stay in bed. Now, the other thing that looks just like depression, and this is really dangerous and really scary, is called hypoglycemia, and any of us can get it. It's a temporary thing as well, but it's basically blood sugar. When your blood sugar isn't balanced, it can really affect your brain. So I know a lot of us, me included, like junk food, or even eating a lot of like refined carbohydrates, bagels, pizza, cereal, stuff like that. Eating stuff like that, or even just not eating enough, which I used to do as well. I only used to eat about 300 calories a day, so that really messed me up. So eating too much junk food and too much sugary food, or not eating enough, it causes your blood to kind of like go on this little roller coaster ride. So when you eat something sugary, it spikes, and then in about 30 minutes to an hour, it kind of crashes. But when your blood crashes, that's called hypoglycemia, sometimes also called reactive hypoglycemia. That's when your moods get really low. For some people, they can get really violent, really angry. For some people, you can just get really depressed and like lethargic, like you don't have any energy. And for some, and I'm just going to be honest, this is my experience, and so I'm going to give a quick trigger warning. For anyone watching this video, I'm going to be talking about suicide. Quick trigger warning and a disclaimer. So just wanted to let you know, you can hop off the video if this might be triggering. But for my experience with hypoglycemia plus mental depression, this is so very dangerous. Like when your moods get low, a lot of people get violent and angry or desperate because your brain is like desperate for nutrients because it just had this spike of blood sugar, and now it's like starving for glucose, which is blood sugar, you know, the sugar you get from foods. It's starving, so like you get really emotional, really angry, and then even, trigger warning, this is what is gonna make you wanna like hang yourself in the middle of the night, or kind of just like choke yourself to death because you get so violent and your brain is just like craving nutrients so much. Plus you have mental depression, so it's just, they add on. Your mental depression already says, hey, you don't deserve to be here. And then this hypoglycemia, which anyone can get at any time, is like, it's trying to make you go find food, but when you have depression, it just gets like multiplied back onto yourself. So it's just like the energy you need to go kill yourself, it's kind of reacting that way. So this is like, if you get violently suicidal, I had this for like 3.5 years. I don't know how I made it through, because literally this will want to make you like choke yourself to death. This will make you want to just hang yourself or just go run and like, I'm not gonna keep naming ways to kill yourself, but if you've ever been violently suicidal, it can be because of this. And it could even be from things such as extreme dehydration. If you have depression plus dehydration, it equals this violent reaction where you just want to kill yourself right away. So that is a complete honest look into my life and what I suffered with. So I saw a medical doctor. Now here's how to deal with it. You see a medical doctor, you get a blood test, and they're going to tell you what's wrong with you. So you might have a vitamin imbalance. I had a vitamin D. I was extremely low in vitamin D, so he helped put me on supplements for that. That helped a lot. I had the adrenal fatigue and hypoglycemia, so he put me on a diet plan, and then I started to eat healthier, and I noticed within weeks that this like really violent suicidal urges, they went away. They just went away. And so that's how I'm convinced, as well as this and my 2 years of research and writing my thesis paper on hypoglycemia, like that had me convinced that, okay, so your body, especially your diet and your blood sugar, are really closely related to your brain. Okay, so in order to help number 3, which was the biological cause of depression, I would just recommend going to see a doctor. That way he or she can take a blood test, you know, see what's going on with you. If they think necessary, they can either prescribe you an antidepressant or they can refer you to someone who can. And they can see if you have any imbalances in your body, maybe hormones, it could be vitamins, thyroid, or like I had, adrenal fatigue that makes you want to sleep all day and have no energy, or hypoglycemia, which is like this crazy mood roller coaster where like 1 minute you feel good after you eat, but then your blood sugar like drops. So you could have that. And for step number 3, biology, I highly recommend, no matter what the doctor finds, to also just start eating well. You know, that really helped me to eat more balanced foods, to kind of balance my plate. So when you balance your plate with a protein, a carb, and fat, you don't get the blood sugar spike anymore. You can even eat on occasion, you know, cookies, brownies, stuff. If you eat it with a full meal, your blood sugar won't go up and down like this. It'll just, like, it'll just stay normal because you're eating it with foods that digest slowly, like protein and fat, and as well as carbs. Those digest really slowly, so it's just kind of this steady burn. And I have this whole tutorial on that on my website. I will post the link, but I just wanted to share kind of my experience. I've been through all 3 major causes of depression. Sometimes they overlap. I've had all 3 at once. I've had one at a time. They can overlap, and when they overlap, that's when it gets really scary. So definitely I recommend seeing a psychologist to talk about it. If you need immediate help, the psych hotline, which is like the help hotline, I'll post the number for that too. What's it called? The suicide hotline. I'll post that. They're really nice. They help me for immediate help, or call 911, if you're feeling like violently suicidal. And number 3, a medical doctor is going to help you get better with that. And number 4, I like to throw this in because this just helped me so much. Also, balancing your diet. It's just going to help you feel so much better too. Definitely go see the professionals. And then I have some tips on my website on how to balance your diet and start taking good care of yourself so your brain can feel better. All right, thank you for listening and looking at this intimate photo of my life, and I hope it can help someone. This definitely helped me. Like I said, I've had all 3 types, so here's how to get out of each type. Thank you. I love you guys. More info will be posted either above or below, and take care.